Time in YouTube, and welcome back to Theme Deck Corner. Today we are going to be looking over the brand new Luminous Frost theme deck from Burning Shadows. This one features Alolan Ninetales. This card here is actually really good, but you may not see the full effect of it in theme deck format. Alolan Ninetales is the stage 1 water type with 110 HP, has that Luminous Barrier ability, and this ability is actually really good. You get to prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon by your opponent's GX and EX Pokemon. That is very, very strong, considering it mitigates all meta from the game. It has Aurora Beam as well, 1 water, 2 colorless. It's going to do 80 damage. I think that's the only big flaw of the card, is it doesn't have like a big push for damage. But overall, this card can see a lot of play in like a water box deck or things like that. So I'm very interested to see what happens with this card. Anyway, moving on to the rest of the theme deck, we're going to start off with Bouffalant. Has 120 HP, is a colorless Pokemon, basic, with Bouffalant Head, 2 colorless energy, 30 damage, and you get to resist 30 damage on your opponent's next attack. It also has Knock Over for 3 colorless energy, it's going to do 80, and you may discard any stadium in play, which isn't bad, but you know what, that energy might go somewhere else. We do have a few copies of the new Heatmore, 110 HP, fire type basic, has Odor Sleuth, 2 colorless energy, get to flip 2 coins for each heads, put a card from your discard pile into your hand, so you get to reuse some of those great plays. And in theme deck format, this is actually something very good. As long as your opponent hasn't fully set up at that point, you can try and get some of those recovery cards, a supporter, or whatever, and you can potentially keep yourself in a good momentum. Has Searing Flame as well for its attack, 1 fire, 2 colors, 60 damage. Your opponent's active is now burned as well. Very, very decent card for theme deck format. Next up, we're going to be looking at the Simisear. One of 2 monkeys in this deck. This one has 90 HP as a fire type, has Scratch for 30, 1 colorless, and Flare Recharge, 1 fire, 1 colorless, 50 damage. You do get to attach a fire energy from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. So, not a terrible card at all, especially in theme deck format, getting that recharge ability. We've got a lot of stuff that wants to play with the discard pile, which is actually really good, because there are times you will have to discard cards that you may not want to. Or lose them because you don't want to. Our next stage 1 line is Alolan Sandslash. They put the 2 Ice Mons together. Alolan Sandslash has 110 HP, is a water type with the Slush Rush ability. Once during your turn, you may draw a card. This is very strong in this format when you don't have consistent draw support. Alolan Sandslash is very nice. Has a smash turn for 1 water, 2 colorless. You'll be able to do a little bit of about 50 damage, and you get to switch this Pokemon with one of your benched. So if anybody kind of brings it up for whatever reason with a Guzma, you can kind of switch it back out. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not that Guzma's in these decks. Our next water type is going to be Bruxish, 100 HP, water type, has Gnash Teeth, 1 water. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused, which isn't bad for 1 water type. That's literally a Espeon, but without damage. And we don't have to evolve it, so that's not too bad. It then has Synchronoise, 1 water, 2 colorless, 60 damage. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon that shares a type with your opponent's active Pokemon. So, if they all are 1 color, they're going to take a lot more damage. Synchronoise is actually pretty decent in theme deck because you're going to see a lot of people use the same color. Now, of course, theme decks usually run 2, but it's alright, you're still going to get some damage to the bench. Speaking of damage to the bench, we have a brand new sniper. Kingdra has 140 HP, is our stage 2 in the deck. Water type as well. Has Brine, 1 water. This attack does 90 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. So you can only snipe if it's got damage already. It also has Tornado Shot, 1 water, 90 damage. Discard a water energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So this gives you the ability to do 90 to the active, 30 to a benched, and now Brian can snipe that whatever mon you hit on the bench. So it has some really cool synergy. This card has seen a lot of interest already in play. And it's really cool that this is going to be our big stage 2 for the deck. Lastly, for Pokemon, we have Simipour, 90 HP, water type, has Scratch like the other one, 1 colorless, 30 damage. Has Aqua, Reflect, 1 water, 1 colorless, 50 damage. Move a water entry from this Pokemon to one of your bench. I don't like the Simipour. Probably the weakest of the 3 monkeys. Alright, now we've got a few items to go over, and then we'll be pretty much ready to go into some battles here. We're going to start with the Big Malasada, which is one of my favorite healing. Yeah, you don't do as much as Potion, but you get to heal that special condition. You heal 20, remove specials. Pretty good. We've got the Energy Retrieval. Put 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile back into your hand. Always a good card to have in Theme Deck. We've got the Escape Rope, and I like the new artwork. Very nice. Each player switches their active Pokemon with one of their bench. Your opponent switches theirs first. Very, very good. I think I read that wrong, but either way. What are you doing, Luna? She's laying down at the door. Anyway, moving on. Very good card. Gets you out of tight situations. We've got the Nest Ball. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon. Put it onto your bench. Very strong card. Gets us those basics so we can start getting our team building early. Next up is the Rescue Stretcher. You get to choose one of 2 opportunities here. Put a Pokemon from your discard pile back into your hand, or shuffle 3 in any combination back into your deck. This card is very strong. Doesn't hit the energy, but that's fine. Next up is the Timer Ball. You get to flip 2 coins for each heads. You get to search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, put it in your hand. This will help us get our bigger lines faster. But what's nice about this particular deck is, for one, we actually have all complete lines, which is incredible for a theme deck. And 2, we have a lot of stage 1, so we can actually get our max potential off early, which is really, really nice. We have How, draw 3 cards, pretty straightforward. We have 1 Lana, heal 50 damage from each of your Pokemon that has any water energy attached to it, which is very strong in this format, just saying. Not a lot of damage is going to go back and forth. A lot of Okos aren't going to happen. Getting that 50 damage down is nice. And another one that's also really strong here is Professor Kukui. You get to draw 2 cards during your turn. Your Pokemon will do 20 more damage. Lastly, for trainers, though, is the new card, Wishful Baton. It is a tool card, and once you, whoever this card is attached to gets knocked out, you can move 3 basic entries from it to a Pokemon on your bench. So if you've got your Alolan Ninetales already set up, you've got another one on the bench, you can just move those energies onto it, and you'll have your second one going in a matter of seconds. So it's a really cool trainer card. I'm very interested to see how it's going to play out this deck. Next up is the 6 Fire Energy and 14 Water. That is going to be the deck list, though. I think I took a little longer on this one than I usually do, but I think we've gone over it pretty thoroughly. I think this deck is actually really strong. I think it may not have like that max, oh my, max 100 damage that a lot of decks do have nowadays, but I also think there's a lot of easy synergy as long as you get the water energy out. I think we'll have a lot of ways of getting damage and consistency going pretty easy. So let's get into some games, because I know that's what you guys are here to see. And without any further ado, let's get on to the TCGO ladder. Alright guys, match number 1 is here. We're going up against Eno 2020, and they did add some effects, so for those of you who only watch theme decks on my side, you're going to start to see that they've added a few sound effects to the game. And my opponent is actually playing the new theme deck that we'll be showcasing on our next episode. I actually don't remember the name of it. I did not look at it. But it does feature Midday Lycanroc. Ooh, we are going to have a pretty slow start here. We do have Sandshrew as our active, but we are going to go first here, so we'll be able to evolve early, potentially get some nice cards here from the How. Otherwise, we're just going to go for some nice evolution, get ourselves going here. It'll be not too bad, not too bad. So my opponent starts with Rockruff, which is great. We are going to go for a How right off the bat, get ourselves, some really strong lines right off. I get another Sandshrew and a Vulpix, which is exactly what we want to see. I'm going to drop this water energy down onto our Sandshrew because, nicely enough, that is the one we're going to start setting up. Alright, so we do pass the turn because I cannot use an attack right now. I plan to just go right into the Alolan Sandslash, start drawing as many cards as I can, and hope to get those Alolan Ninetales and possibly just set it up. Now, problem is Sandslash isn't too fast, so he does have a retreat cost of 2. We are going to see Corner. Potentially, we are seeing the Bouffalant is in my opponent's deck. We see Solrock. My opponent's going for a Nest Ball, potentially going for another Rockruff. Yeah, actually no, goes for a Rhyhorn. And we are going to see that Wishful Baton on the Rockruff. So when it gets knocked out, all its energies gets moved. We're going to showcase our Bouffalant. Our Alolan Sandslash is coming into play. We are going to drop our good old energy, Slush Rush, see if we can get another card out of here. It's going to be a fire energy, so we'll be able to set up next turn. But that is going to be it. Now, I could have waited a turn to set up, or use the Alolan Sandslash in the back, but I wanted to get it up. Alolan Sandslash is more of a support card, so having the first Sandshrew go down after a retreat, we could have done that. But we're in here now. We are seeing the powerful Lycanroc on our opponent's side. Has that Rock Throw and Excel Rock. Now he is weak to Grass, not our side. And he's got that magical 100 number, which we currently do not. So if I don't be careful here, he can knock me out. So I'm going to probably have to Lana. Here we go. Which will save us a turn. And should get us in range of knocking this guy out first. Except that he's got, 110 HP. I am going to Slush Rush. I'm going to see if I can get that Kukui for the following turn. I get a Horsey. And sadly, I'm not going to get that opportunity. And I have to switch. I may have made a big misplay. It's alright. It happens. We are going to see a Psychic Energy drop onto that Lycanroc. So he's fully set up. The Rhydon is here as well. And here comes that Excel Rock. It is going to knock me out. Which is sad to say, but true. We are going to bring up our Sandslash again. I need some help with some cards, to say the least. We can drop the energy down on... I gotta try and get Alolan Ninetales going here. I could have utilized the Pansear, or even the Bouffalant, but I decided against it apparently. We are going to go for our Slush Rush. This could change a lot if I can pull a Kukui. No, I pull a Water Energy, which is good for us. I'm going to probably drop that down onto our Horsey. Our Seadra at this point. But I'm going to switch over to Pansear. Should be able to knock out this Lycanroc on the following turn. That doesn't mean anything considering he does have that Wishful Baton, which is going to make one of his other Pokemon very strong. And he's got that Meowstic in the back, so he can actually go for that Hand Kinesis, and based on hand size, be able to knock us out. Now, he doesn't have like an overly strong card here. He's still got Rhydon. We do have the Alolan Ninetales now. We're going to continue setting it up. We've got nothing in the discard pile. Let's go for that Slush Rush. Hope to get something good. Oh, now I get the Kukui. I'm not going to play the Kukui. I don't actually need to. We're just going to go for a nice Slush Rush. And I'm going to switch into... Alolan Ninetales. Oh, this is a tough match. But my opponent is choosing which Pokemon to put this on. I am expecting the Rhydon, because he'll be able to actually come in, kind of take us out. He'll be able to one-shot all of our Pokemon here. I am falling behind in damage. Now, if I can get a Kingdra, that could change a lot of this game. But we actually are surviving this turn, which is great. He didn't get that next energy. We're going to try and get another Pokemon out of the deck. We don't have Kingdra. It's prized. Welp. Okay, let's try Bruxish. Because Panpour or Simisears doesn't do any good. I think Brooks just might be a better play. Because we'll have something we can kind of go into. I needed energy, which I did not get. We are going to retreat into our Sandslash, getting rid of this fire energy. I'll be able to retrieve it next turn, but that's still not going to help us now. Actually, I haven't played it, so I can easily energy retreat. Here we go, just drop it back. I might drop it on the Bruxish, considering we've already got so much damage taken. We are going to go for a smash turn. We're going to hit 70, which is nice. You only have one. I can go into Bruxish right now, trying to kind of spread that damage and love around. Hopefully he doesn't get that last energy he needs from Mega Horn. He is going to Kukui. So right now he'll do a flat 100, which will knock me out. But we'll be able to knock him out on the following turn, and that will also take all his energy with him. So yes, he had a nice lead, but we might be able to come back here. Has Brooklet Hill. I can go for a water basic of my choice. Gotta bring up my Sandslash once more. The Sandslash is doing a lot of work. I'm just saying. So we have... I might just Rescue Stretcher and put the Pokemon back in. Shuffle 3 back in. 1, 2, 3. I don't need to Kukui just yet. I want to save that for some damage. I get another Alolan Sandslash, which is good. I can Brooklet Hill. I can get my Sandshrew going. And now I can probably get 2 cards a turn next turn. So this should hit and knock out the Rhydon. We are going to go into our... Do you have free retreat? No, you have cost of 1. We can at least go into our Ninetales. I'm not threatened by anything on my opponent's side right now. We got a Water Energy, which is really good. Can kind of start building up this Ninetales and trying to keep ourselves going here. He'll need 2 energies on this Meowstic, though. Needs that Hand Kinesis to start going off. He's got another Rhydon in the back. But no Lycanroc. They pulled up the... Ooh, gets a Riolu for the bench. And just passes the turn. Okay, that I'm happy with. Now, we can't knock this guy out. But I can start dwindling down some of my HP. So I don't take as much. Hold on, before I do this. Each card in your hand, so it'll do 40 damage. I actually still get knocked out, so that was a bad play. But still needs 2 energies, so not really terrible play. We can evolve this Seadra here. We can get another card from a Slush Rush here. We get a Simipour. And I just am going to have to pass, because I can't attach another energy drop right now. I'm not about to go into another Pokemon just because I can. We do see that energy drop. This is going to give it a huge boost, but I do have the Kukui for the knockout, which we will be able to take here. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may prevent all effects of your opponent's attack, including damage done to this Pokemon. Oh, to that Pokemon. Okay, I'm alright with that. So let's get these Slush Rushes going. We got a Water Energy. We've got a good old Heatmore. So I'm going to throw down my Kukui, which is absolutely beautiful here, because this will give me the ability to knock out this Meowstic. And now I've caught up. I've caught up. I've got 2 Pokemon set up ready to go. I still have not drawn that Kingdra yet. But if I can, that will be a fantastic Mon to grab. But my opponent is again at that hole. I don't have any energy Pokemon. We are going to see Solrock come up. I am out of damage range here, though. That is a big problem. We are seeing that they could go for either Double Draw for 2 or Solar Heat. If there's a Stadium in play, it'll do 40 more. So they can hit me for... Ooh. Who? How? What? Oh, Rhyperior. So I take 40. I'm living on 10. Gonna just drop this down here. Do I retreat? I think I'm gonna retreat into my Sandslash. I can go for my Slush Rush. I know he's starting to mill me, but that's okay. I got an energy. Another energy. So we're saving the energy. And we're going to go for a Smashing Turn. I'll switch into my Seadra, who has a 1 retreat anyway, so we'll be okay. We can kind of retreat out into the Ninetales, save up here. That Lycanroc still needs 3 energy to do anything, so I'm not worried about that. We have 40 damage onto our current Seadra, and we are just going to retreat into our Alolan Ninetales. I feel like I'm okay to go into this right now. I can easily drop a Water Energy down. I don't need to draw? Is this just upon evolution? Yes, it's just upon evolution, so I'm actually okay to draw. We got 1 water. We got a Simipour. Let's take out this guy. Let's see if I can get that Kingdra. And that will pretty much confirm this game to us. Come on, Kingdra. Nope, Fire Energy. Whew! Alright, so the Rhyperior is up. Now, it is not weak to us. We're going to see 3 cards from our opponent for How. I got to stop drawing cards because I'm going to need a few turns to actually take this guy out. Actually, I think it's 2. 2 turns exactly to take this guy out. And we're going to see an Esper drop onto our opponent's side. Another energy drop to the Lucario. I'm going to get another energy here. I'm going to continue to set up my Seadra. My cat's rolling around over by the door. Now that he has got, she has got a Lucario fully set up with that Submarine Blow. But we'll only need to knock it out, and we'll be able to claim the game. As long as I start setting up a few attackers, we should be okay. Honestly, as long as I can pull the Kingdra. I have a 50% chance right now to pull Kingdra. I think we could have this game. We pull the Timer Ball. So the Kingdra is the only card left that we have not been able to play. It is still in that prize pool. They're definitely going to bring this guy in. And they're going to probably take 2 prizes off of me. Actually, I don't think I can win. I think that was a big misplay on my part. Because the 120 damage, they will knock me out here. And they will be able to knock out another Pokemon. And I still will not be able to hit for 120. It's a bit of a problem. So Submarine Blow. This play here, the knockout, as much as I only need to take 1 more, actually could have just cost me the game. I'm gonna just double check. Not off that Timer Ball, I'm not. I don't have 3 turns, though. We did focus on the wrong attackers. I will not deny that. And the only one who can... I have no Pokemon that can take this hit. And I know I've already used my Kukuis, and it's way too late to try and set up a Heatmore when my opponent has the big attackers currently sitting in front of me. This match went back and forth, and that misplay of knocking out that Rhyperior before I had another Mon set up is what is going to win my opponent the game. Well, not quite. There is one way. There is one way I can win this. I got one play, guys. Now, regardless of what happens here, I'm going to get knocked out regardless. But I do have Powder Snow, which means I can put my opponent to sleep. If they stay asleep, I actually can win this match. So this is my only play. I do get to put them to sleep. And they don't wake up! Woo! I've got the energy in back to start setting up this Alolan Ninetales. My opponent does not have anything to play off of this. Does wake up. That is fine, because we are about to knock out this guy. Whew, I thought we were a goner. But we managed to use our Alolan Vulpix into the perfect position instead of evolving. And now we should be able to take this game here. Wow, what a back and forth. Again, I thought we lost that, but playing that Alolan Vulpix and getting the opportunity to use our Powder Snow was insane, and it just worked out in our favor. Otherwise, we would have lost. So, needless to say, we've got one more match for you guys. Can it be as close as this one? I don't know, but we'll see in match number 2. Alright guys, match number 2 is here against Rena. I apologize, I can't read it now. Rena K. Kale Rini K. Lieutenant has? I butchered it. It's real bad. I'm sorry. I butchered it. I admit! You don't have to like me if I butcher your names. We have a weird hand here. I have to depend on my monkey. My monkey who's swinging in the vines, going from tree to tree, lighting everything on fire! Alright, so we are going to see what we get here. What do we get here? Now, we've got a couple of evolutions here, but nothing worthwhile. And we are playing Crushing Current. Crushing Current can do a lot of damage. Remember, guys, Crushing Current's a good theme deck. We are seeing the Eevee here get 1 Lightning Energy, where our opponent is going to Tyranno. And I can Wishful Baton onto this monkey, hoping to get some decent partners and whatnot. I get a Heatmore, and again, this is just going to help us set up. So I can go here, drop a nice 10 damage down. Oh, hold on. Wishful Baton, put it on here, just in case he somehow gets a chance to knock me out in 1 turn. I don't want that. So I can at least get that energy moved over to Heatran. Sorry, Heatmore, not Heatran. Heatmore. I know I said it the first time too, guys. I'm well aware I made a mistake. So far, I've been enjoying this deck, though. It doesn't have the raw damage, but it's got a lot of really neat plays and tricks that you can easily get yourself into a winning position. As we saw from the last match. But our opponent is currently making a small play here. Taking a little bit of sweet time. Thinking out those plays. We don't have too much going for us here, and I really don't want to waste this water energy on any of these two, but I might have to try and set up this Heatmore, because he may be our new attacker for the next little bit. It's kind of funny, we had the water side in our first episode, now we're seeing the fire side. My opponent didn't play anything. We are going to drop a fire energy down onto this Heatmore, and I'm just going to hit for another flare. BAM! I will get this Eevee in 4 more turns. 4 more turns, and Eevee will go down. Unless I get Semi-Siege, and then... Semi-Seer. Not Sage. Seer. Then we'll be able to knock this guy out and, like, BAM! Faster. Not much faster, but a little faster. A little faster. My opponent isn't playing much. Has the Jolteon, giving my opponent the ability to have all their lightning types. All stage 1s are lightning types, but it's an all electric deck, so that kind of is irrelevant. Either way, gets to play a few Voltorbs, drops an energy down. I'm going to play a Bouffalant. And we're in range of knocking out this good old Jolteon, even with him getting 1 more energy. So I'm just going to chip him in, get him into that position for Heatmor to take him out. And then we will be in a very good position here where we'll be ahead. We'll be quite a bit ahead. I just am double checking that none of mine are weak to lightning. No. Drops the 3rd lightning energy down onto Jolteon. That was a big mistake. Does evolve into an Electrode. We're going to see an Ultra Ball. This is going to dwindle him down to 1 card. 1 card! Gets that Raichu for that Circle Circuit. That's not a bad play. That was a good Ultra Ball. Oh, and has Shauna. Never mind. He has good cards in his hand. We don't. We're currently sitting at nothing. Lucky Helmet onto the Jolteon, knowing that it'll go down in the next turn. Means he'll get 2 more cards. Oh, it's not going down! Oh, that was a huge play for my opponent. That was a big turn. Yes. I want to click that card. Thank you. That was a huge turn for my opponent. Completely changed this from a good turn to a I'm in trouble turn. I still don't think I can knock out this Jolteon either. My opponent just needs to pick up his prize. I don't know what to tell you. My opponent's just waiting for this prize card that's just dwindling in the shadows. And then we'll be able to put up Heatmor. There we go. We can put Heatmor up now. And, let's see. We get a monkey. I don't need monkeys! I can't take the risk. I only have Baton in there anyway. I have no supporters. So Searing Flame. We'll do 60. We'll burn him. So we'll take another 20. And he does not survive the burn. So the burn should knock him out on the following turn. Like going into ours, which is great. Which means we have opportunity to hit the next Pokemon. And he had to waste his energy drop on Jolteon this turn as well. Which means we may not go down here. Absolutely fantastic. The burn will take him out, and we will see the next Pokemon come up. We're going to get a prize card, which is an Alolan Sandslash. Would go great if I had an Alolan Sandshrew. He's going to decide on something. There we go. So he's going to put up a Rattata. Just kind of sacrifice it. We're going to get our Semi-Sage. This is a Semi-Poor. I get confused with the monkeys. Oh boy. We're in trouble, guys. We are in serious trouble. He actually has to put an energy down if he wants to retreat. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to potentially get the Howl. I'm going to set up this Bouffalant. So I'm going to try and flip 2 coins and try and get that Howl back. I got 1. I got 2. I can get this Howl, and I can get the Wishful Baton, which is absolutely beautiful. I can put the Wishful Baton on here, set up my next Heatmor in a turn, and continue going from there. Getting my Howl off. That was a great turn for me, because my opponent does have a Rattata, which I am not threatened by. He was expecting me to knock it out. Only thing is, it will give him a turn to set up that Raichu, which I don't want. Because that Raichu can hit for a lot of damage, even in this format. If he's got enough Pokemon, he can knock me out. He does get that Raticate up. Still not a problem, though. And he does get the double colorless energy drop onto that Raticate. Or sorry, onto the Raichu. Oh no! You did it in a turn too quick! Oh no! I'm gonna have to wish baton this Bouffalant. Drop the water energy down here. I got a Howl. Come on, fire. I need a fire energy. No. But I am getting some more Pokemon here, which is better. Oh, what a play. What a play on my opponent's part. He is getting a lot of luck right now. But we are going to go for that during your opponent's next turn. This will take 30. He hits me for 3... what is it? 2? So he hits me for 100, which now will only do 70 damage. So I should survive at least another turn. And being that it's only got the one... Oh, I made a misplay in that. I tried, though. I didn't think he had the Raticate in hand, which gave him free retreat. That was a great play on my opponent's part. He's got one step ahead of me, though. One step ahead of me. But I should be able to knock him out as long as I get an energy off of this next drop. I have to get it. He's going to go for a Tyranno himself, which is fine. Drops energy down onto Electrode, which gives him that continuous double, which is great for him. I'm going to take 70. I have a Alolan Ninetales up. I can drop this. I'm going to hold off on that. I would rather have a Sandshrew. I didn't get it. But I did get my water energy, which is awesome because my Alolan Ninetales will be safe. I'm just going to knock out this Raichu. I want to get rid of that big threat from this table. Don't want it. We get a water energy, which is great because all three of those, if he manages to knock me out with that continuous tumble, I'll be able to set up this Alolan Ninetales and we should be good to go. Should be good to go. The great thing about Theme Deck format, though, is it's a lot of back and forth. If you got a setup, you're good. And now you guys are, like, I'm liking the fact that we're seeing the power of the Wishful Baton. Just how fast it can set these games up. Just keep our team going with all those energy. Even though we have a lot of 3-costing attacks, we're still able to use them. And that Heatmore play was beautiful. It may have not worked out for us because of the Raticate, but in my eyes, we did good. In my eyes, we did good. He has to continue his stumble here. You get to flip a coin until you get tails. The stack does 20 damage until you get times the number of heads. So if he gets tails right off the bat, no damage. Kind of need that. Kind of need that right now. I want to make sure we can kind of guarantee our win right now. Because right now you've got 90 HP. If I manage to hit, or if you manage to not knock me out, I can go for a Kukui, knock him out, and set him back quite a bit. Which will be very good. And we can take lead, which is even better. However, if he manages to land what? He doesn't attack! That's huge. That is huge that they don't attack. They could have knocked me out even. I'm going to go into my Seadra here. I'm going to go for a Kukui. I have no interest in using my Rescue Stretcher yet. And I can just go for a knockover, which will knock out this Electrode, which, again, he could have gotten some serious damage down if he wanted to go for the coin flips. But instead, we're just going to take him out. And we're going to take advantage here. And like I said, we've got technically 3 potential attackers here. One being Seadra, who can snipe out a Rattata no problem now. So as long as that's on the bench, that's a free prize for us. I don't have to worry too much about that. And I've got the Alolan Ninetales, who's theoretically set up. And I'm going to continue setting up this Heatmore. We are in a very good position here. Very good position. My opponent brings up that good old Raticate. We did see this earlier. It does drop an electric energy to poison me. Hold on. He's got the one thing that actually can get rid of my baton path, or my Wishful Baton, and that is that dirty shock. He will poison me, and my Wishful Baton will disappear. He's got to attack, though. Drops a few more Pokemon down, goes for that dirty shock, will poison me, and my Wishful Baton will hit the discard pile one more time. Now what that means is I do need to fully set up some mons here. That was a good play. I need to manually set this up now. We are just going to try and survive as many turns as possible. We are going to knock over this Raticate. If I can get one more prize, though, with Bouffalant, then I can just promote my Seadra, and that should be the game. Otherwise, I can continue to set up my Alolan Ninetales. We've got a Nest Ball, so I can try and get that Sandshrew back. Or we'll start it up. It just brings up the Magnemite, which is not a bad play. It can go for the Paralysis. Ah, that's what he's going for. He's going for some Paralysis action. Pokemon Fan Club. Gonna name 2 basic Pokemon. He can only play 1, so I'm okay with this. Goes for the Kangaskhan and Zapdos, the big 2 from that deck. But as long as I can take out Magnemite, I'm 100% A-okay. So they've got to flip a coin, though. This comes down to a coin toss. If I get this coin, if he doesn't land this, he doesn't land it, my Bouffalant will go down. Will not go down actually, but we'll be able to secure the win here. I'm not going to let him see that I'm planning on my Seadra. I'm just going to drop a Water Entry down onto Alolan Ninetales and knock over this Magnemite. And he can bring in the Zapdos or whatever he wants to do to try and survive a turn, but I'm going for that rat. I'm going for that rat. I will lose my Bouffalant on the incoming turn. Actually, he'll just Drill Peck me right now and take me out, which is fine. But if he thinks I'm in a bad position, I'm not. My Seadra can go for any Pokemon, and I will knock out that Rattata. We're going to call game. 30 damage to the rat. And that's game! Boom! I don't need to take care of the big scary bird, I just go for the snipe. Ah! This deck has a lot of really fun tools in it. It's got some really cool status conditions being burn. It has got you can put your opponents to sleep. It's got sniping. The only thing it doesn't have is a huge damage output. Alolan Ninetales does not have that damage output. The best we've got is, I think, 80 between Alolan Ninetales and Bouffalant. Again, that's not a bad thing. You guys saw us handle these games pretty nicely, and that Wishful Baton is a huge, huge, huge advantage to you guys in Theme Deck format because it does let you try and set up, theoretically, 2 Pokemon at once, as long as the Wishful Baton stays on the Pokemon. With that being said, though, that is going to be it for today. I think this deck was amazing if you guys are starting out and getting a brand new theme deck. This one is a lot of fun, has a lot of tips and tricks, and can get you into a lot of really cool strategies. We are going to be looking over the Lycanroc one in the next episode, so please come and check that one out as well. But that is going to be it for me. If you guys are brand new here, please hit the subscribe button because it does mean the world to me. You guys come back and watch the videos on the regular, and I will see you guys in the next video. But until then, time out.